So watching Joy News today, let me remind you that we are streaming live on Facebook. Let's take you to a news conference being held by the opposition National Democratic Congress. Addressing that news conference now is the General Secretary Johnson Esiedun-Ketia. Among other things that were discussed at that press conference, which we understand has just ended, was a timetable for the party in the coming year. Now, during this just ended news conference, the NDC confirmed that former Sports Minister Nino Tedua, former Member of Parliament for Lejokuku constituency, has passed away. A minute's silence was observed for him during this news conference. We'll be bringing you more details of this death and other issues that came up at that news conference before the bulletin is over. Let's move to other issues now. When two journalists have reportedly been assaulted as the NPP headquarters here in Accra. This happened during chaos which reportedly broke out this morning as the party's office. Joy News' Latif Idris is there to tell us more. Latif, tell us what actually happened at the NPP headquarters. Those are some scenes of what happened at the NPP headquarters this morning. You see this man holding a sign. All we need is a transparent registration by polling station executives and not family and friends. We understand these are NPP members and executives from the Elembele constituency who recently charged on the home of the chairman of that constituency of the NPP, demanding a party register, saying that some persons who are legitimate members of the party have been removed from this register. This happened just a few days ago. You can see open fresh polling station registration in Elembele. All we need is a transparent registration by polling station executives. We need original polling station registers at polling stations. All this is in a build-up to the party activities that will be taking place in the year 2018. If you would recall, during the just ended Extraordinary Delegates Conference in Kumasi, the Ashanti region capital, it was mentioned that by June 2018, the party will go to the polls to select their national officers. Now, this will begin with a polling station executive election. Key in this process will be that polling station register, which is being compiled as we speak. And in the Elembele constituency, the party chairman has been accused of conniving with other executives to remove the names of some members from that particular voters register. They have brought a demonstration here to Accra and will be going there shortly to get some more details on that. But in the meanwhile, for many families, the amount of money is available to spend during the Christmas season really determines how exciting the holidays would be. But for fishermen as Nyano in the central region, the depletion of the fisheries resources is likely to determine how they would celebrate Christmas as an age-old tradition. And now that is threatened by low fish catch during the year. Joy News' Joseph Akable was in the area and has come through with this report.
Fishermen at Nyanyano celebrate Christmas in the most unique way. They go fishing in a grand style. But this year's grand ride may not be with much excitement, as some fishermen say they couldn't catch a lot of fish this year.
We will all agree that the sea is important. Another thing we'll agree on is the fact that no group of individuals will love the sea more than the fisher folk who daily basis ply their trade as fishermen right here at the coast. I am at Nyanyano to gauge the mood ahead of Christmas and more importantly try and understand how they celebrate Christmas.
Wiabu is one of the fishermen here. For 10 years, he has spent every Christmas day on the sea, fishing, a tradition rooted in his ancestry. He leans on his canoe as he laughs at others struggling to push their canoes back to shore. I joined them in an attempt to help.
Hey, 10 years or so. Okay.
I've been in this trade for 10 years. I started with my hand and later got an outboard motor, enabling me to use the boat. I've been at it since then. The sea gives us so much money. There are periods where we get so much. Sometimes we get little. Proud to Christmas, we buy a lot of things. We celebrate on the sea. At about 12, we have an attire we wear. Our leaders settle on it. We wear it and go to sea, move around and just come back. We change if we have another attire and go riding again. That is how we celebrate Christmas. We go alone. We give our wives some. They wait for us and pour powder on us when we return. It signals that the year has ended. Our children receive gifts from us. Things don't look well for this year's Christmas. Only few people are buying things. It's very tough.
The water is a bit cold. It's early morning and can't be imagined. But the canoes will be very busy come Christmas Day. But not all fisher folk look forward to this year's Christmas with much anticipation. For good reasons. They feel the fishing season has not been as fruitful as the other years has been. One of such individuals tells me why he doesn't look forward to this year's celebration and that revered tradition with much excitement. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
First, tell me, what's your name?
My name is Emmanuel, but always people call me Tono.
How old are you?
Oh, I'm like 40 years now.
And you're a fisherman?
I'm a full fisherman.
How many years have you been engaged in fishing?
Since I was born. Yeah.
So you know the sea like
everything. I know everything about the sea.
Earlier when I was talking to you, you were explaining to me that you are not excited about Christmas. Why are you not really?
I'm not excited. I didn't say that because normally when it is time like this, we get quality fish or a lot of fishes, which is cassava fish, and some fishes are named called Odwe, Chukwe, Incan, a lot of fishes. Fishes will bring money. But past 2-3 years, things are changing. When we went there, that kind of fish we normally get it. We didn't get it. You see the point? We didn't get it. So up to now, everything has changed. So we don't have.
I was engaging some of your colleagues, and they were telling me that in the past, you guys have a bit of a tradition of a sort, such that in the mornings of Christmas Day.
Let me help you. That's the secondary matter, because when you get money, you can do anything you like. Anything you want to do, you can do it. Now, where's the money? People who told you that, ask them how much they have. How much they have? They don't have nothing. How can you celebrate Christmas?
So you'll not be participating in that tradition?
We won't do it. This town, over years, they didn't celebrate their festival. October 23rd, they started their festival. So now, normally we use Christmas as their festival, but now they change it. So when we get money, we can use to celebrate. That's why I'm saying that the sea, we get money from the sea. The sea has polluted. So we can't get money, fish to sell and get money to celebrate Christmas.
Children love Christmas. School is on vacation and they play football close to the sea. They share with me their fond memories of Christmas at the coast. Like the adults, they don't want to miss the revered tradition, the grand ride.
I'm di bronya na omo de shama na omo de anunam ne na mopono so no omo di bronya no omo ahye jese ne atare ne ntoma ne.
They go out with a canoe and move all around. It's very nice.
I am papa say omo de shama na na mopono so.
Omo ya na ye fe papa.
It is very nice when they do it. Sometimes they use firecrackers. I want them to do same this year.
I'm not very sure of which manner my celebration of Christmas will be taken, but at least I have an idea of how residents of the coastal town of Nyanyano in the central region will mark a festive occasion. Reporting for Joy News from Nyanyano, my name is Joseph Akable.
It's definitely going to be a Merry Christmas as Nyanyano, despite these challenges that they face. But let's come back to Accra, to that story where 2 journalists have been reportedly assaulted at the NPP headquarters. And now we've been joined by one of the journalists who was there to witness this incident. He is a Ghana Web journalist. He joins us on the line. Thank you very much, Jonah, for joining us. Describe for us the scene today at the NPP headquarters.
Okay, so we received, a notice that there was some more protest ongoing at the NPP headquarters, and so we visited the scene to see what was going on. Just when we were about reaching there, we noticed there was commotion. So, we set up in the taxi we were in, and then just when we got down to shoot, some 3 guys, very well-built guys, rushed on us and then hit my cameraman because he was having the camera. And, one snatched the camera from him. It was quite terrifying the way we were treated over there. I had to barely beg for them not to smash the camera because there was someone from the back who was shouting, hit it, so that, they lose the visual. And so that was what happened over there. They hit the cameraman like 2-3 times in the face so he fell. And then some people had to help him up onto his feet again.
Now, what exactly did you see that made it so scandalous for them?
Pardon me?
What exactly did you observe that they did not want you to film?
Well, I from what I gather, it was some members of the Elembele NPP, members who had come there to protest what was going on in their constituency. They were not happy about the compilation of their names for the register they would use to vote somewhere in January. And so that was the confrontation. That also caused the confrontation between them and the security over there. And so it was quite chaotic. Some were forcing their way into the office. They were being prevented. They were chanting slogans and all of that, telling insults at each other.
Right. And now, Jonah, we understand that calm has been restored. How did that come about?
Well, yes, I think there was reinforcement. At the time we got there, I saw about 2 policemen there at the entrance. But I think about 15 minutes after the incident, there was a police vehicle there, and some more men were brought in to calm the situation down.
Right. Thank you very much, Jonah.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Jonah Alessi. He's with GhanaWeb.com. He's one of those journalists who observed the incidents this morning of the assault of journalists at the NPP headquarters. You're still watching Joy News today. Still to come, we'll be telling you about the apology of Carlos Ahenkra, the Deputy Minister of Trade and Industry, who verbally abused Okujeto Ablakwa, Member of Parliament for North Tongue. This is Joy News Today. Thanks for staying with us. Now, the Deputy Minister of Trade and Industry at the center of the controversial $100,000 saga has apologized for his unruly behavior towards his colleague Member of Parliament Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa. Mr. Ahinkra recently disrupted an interview being granted by Member of Parliament for North Tongue Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa, claiming that he was peddling falsehood. His reaction generated lots of public outcry, with the minority in Parliament planning to petition the Speaker today to refer the matter to the Privileges Committee for further redress. But in a phone interview with an Accra-based local radio station, Mr. Ahinkra apologized to the public for his unparliamentary behavior.
Mami mpaka na focho uni menya sana metie na tole bia na ensembia fa yeso kakra.
Let me plead with the people of Ghana. You know I'm not like that. We are sometimes overwhelmed by some of the issues. Ghanaians should forgive me and forgive what happened. Sometimes you forget to consider the environment you are before making certain comments. If someone insults the president, I'll definitely not take it lightly.
Now, I think that shouldn't give me the opportunity, the chance to do anything otherwise. And the message is from make sure. Even if we're going forward,
and so Ghanaians should forgive me. Going forward, my junior brother Okudzeto-Ablakwa, he's my junior brother but my senior in Parliament. The exchanges shouldn't have happened. We both erred. But if he won't apologize to me, I will. And I'll ask that we let it go so we can move forward.
So watching Journey today. Let's stay with this issue because anti-corruption group Ghana Integrity Initiative is calling on the Auditor General's departments to conduct a process audit into the organization of the controversial Expatriate Awards. Speaking on News Desk, Corporate Affairs Manager of the group, Michael Brady, said this is the only way to ensure that all relevant laws were followed and that no wrongdoing was committed by parties involved. Now, the Ministry of Trade and Industry has come under scrutiny after it emerged that some businessmen paid $100,000 to sit at the same table with President Akufo-Addo. Michael Brady believes these issues must be looked into immediately.
Well, because we're doing public education and because we are also people's rights are involved, you don't want to jump the gun. You don't want to begin to prescribe a crime when you haven't done thorough investigation, when you don't have evidence to suggest so. Now, going forward, we believe that now that the president had called for briefing and had received the briefing, the president must not just take the briefing hook, line, and sinker and do nothing about it. Because, you see, we have called for the passage of the Conduct of Public Officers Bill for God knows how long, and this is not being done. The president, it's about time now that the president pushes for that bill to be passed. Then it regulates the conduct of public officers, include like the trade minister and the deputy trade minister.
In the absence.
Can I just learn?
Right.
Now, the president should also then commission process audits. The Auditor General should audit the various processes, how the Millennium Challenge people became the people they partnered, how they were selected, Millennium Excellence Foundation, how they were selected, the various procurement laws, as to whether every law was adhered to. Then we now look at how the proceeds were accounted for. Now, the PMF, the Public Financial Management Law, were there any breaches? How are fees and levies charged by public officials? All these things must be exhausted. All these things must be thoroughly investigated.
Wouldn't that be unfairly targeting these people?
No, you're
private
not targeting
businessmen who organize an award ceremony?
You are not targeting the private businessmen. You are looking at whether due process were followed and whether there's something, everything was done and was done above board.
That was the Corporate Affairs Manager for GII, Michael Brady. Let's take you back to the news conference that was just ended, that was held by the National Democratic Congress, NDC, addressed there by Johnson Asiedu Nketia. Among other things, he confirmed the death of former Sports Minister Nino Tedia. Now, this man was a former member of parliament as well for Lejo Kuku constituency. It's unclear what event led to his death, but a minute silence was observed for him at the news conference, after which the General Secretary of the NDC confirmed his death. Let's join them now.
This morning, we invited you here to share with you our preparations towards the party's impending elections at all levels. And by that, I mean branch, constituency, regional, and national. We also wish to inform you that there will be similar elections to elect leaders to manage our youth and women's wing, the Zongo caucus, as well as the ultimate, that is the election of a flag bearer to lead the party towards recapturing power in 2020. Let me, on behalf of the party, congratulate our members of parliament, I mean our minority caucus, for their impressive performance within these past 12 months, even as some of them are engaging in parliamentary practice for the first time in their lives. We have every reason to be very confident that next year, 2018, they will raise the image of the party even higher to galvanize the party towards a massive victory in 2020. The party is aware that even as they spend time undertaking these onerous and difficult assignments in parliaments, individuals within the constituencies have already taken advantage of their absence from the constituencies to undermine them with the hope of unseating them in 2020. I wish, on behalf of the party, to indicate that as far as we accept the right of every NDC member to aspire to any positions of the party, including that of member of parliament, we also believe that democracy can only be meaningful when the playing field is even and the rules of the game are transparent and applicable to all equally. It is on this note that we send a note of caution to all aspirants at all levels to refrain from any acts or conduct calculated to undermine our sitting members of parliament before the season for campaigning is formally open. Any evidence of breach of this directive may count in the evaluation of the eligibility of candidates when nominations are eventually opened. Ladies and gentlemen, in the wake of the party's defeat at the 2016 polls, the leadership found it necessary to allow for ventilation of anger and frustration from the rank and file of the party as part of the healing process. This is known in psychology as catharsis. When you suffer some trauma, there must be opportunity for you to do some self-expression that will ease the pent-up feelings and then to heal your soul. We believe that 1 year is long enough for that exercise.
Expect more from the news conference of the NDC. You just heard there General Mosquito, as he's popularly known as, Johnson Asiedu Nketia, mentioning among other things that he hopes that party members do not challenge existing members of parliament in the minority, even as these members of parliament are working hard in Accra to maintain the image of the party. Now let's talk about some journalism, because a strategy to get all journalists owning a home is high on the agenda of the Ghana Journalists Association, which awarded journalists and media organizations across the country for their excellent work over the last year. Association President Roland Afelmoni says the project, dubbed One Journalist, One House, is among a number of initiatives the association is rolling out on to better the lot of the Ghanaian journalists. By now, you know that journeys won big as the event held at the Banquet Hall Wednesday with 6 awards, as Peace FM's morning show host Kwame Sefakai was named Journalist of the Year. Komla Adum has been interacting with some award winners from Wednesday's event.
We're here at the Banquet Hall of the State House. They just ended Ghana Journalists Association Awards, where my colleague Latif Idris picked up a couple of awards, and I also have to my right TV3's Portia Gabo. She was just awarded the Most Promising Journalist Award, and to my extreme right I have Seth Bukwe of the Daily Graphic. I'll be interacting with them briefly to speak to them about their actions, general reactions following these awards that they've just picked up. First of all, Latif, to you as a journalist and working with the multimedia group, for instance.
It means being a more responsible journalist, doing more groundbreaking stuff, going the extra mile, and it adds more color to the multimedia group as a media house and to my personal self as a practicing journalist.
I'll come back to you for that Helps from God story. But Portia, thank you for joining us. Congratulations once again. What does this mean to you as a journalist of many years of practice, I have to say?
Well, it has really humbled me. It means people are watching me.
Now, Seth, you've been winning awards year in, year out. I know at least the last 2 years you won awards. You must be an excited man.
Of course I am. I mean, it's just another form of motivation to give your best. Well, in any case, when you are doing your stories, you are doing it to affect society positively. So when the rewards come in, you take it in good stride and do more. Yeah.
How much of work went into the year under review we are talking about? How much of work did you put in? And you think the crowning moment is rewarding for the kind of effort you put in?
It's a lot. For the agric story, for instance, I did something on how farmers are using polluted water from the mining communities for irrigation. So I tracked this from Achim to Odan, the Birim River. That's what I did. For the rural roads, I went up north, toured almost all the 3 northern regions. So
that must be a lot of work. Back to you, Portia. How much of a challenge did you face in the year under review, especially the stories you filed for this year's award?
Well, I did a story with regards to a girl living with cerebral palsy. She wrote the B. She qualified, but she wasn't placed under the computer selection placement system. So I had to I just didn't do the story. I had to personally follow up the computerized school selection placement system. Make sure
Congratulations to our colleagues there. We apologize for that poor sound quality. But meanwhile, some individuals who have been monitoring the media space in the year under review want journalists to focus more on developmental journalism, while practitioners strive to achieve a balance, especially in political reporting. But it's now time for us to take business from Emmanuel Abuajiriafi.